virtual reality is something that we've grown to know about. It's something that's been a pop culture staple throughout our life. And as we've learned and known about it and seen it develop, we can definitely see some aspects about it that are kind of bad, as well as maybe some places where it can definitely do a lot of good. This PowerPoint's intent is to cover all those things, as well as some of the past it's had that we may not know about. Beginning, though, with its past, with its historical background, we can talk about how it links to arts. Virtual reality has a definite link between panoramic paintings and 3D glasses and whatnot with virtual reality. The idea that you're bringing someone into another world definitely correlates with things like 3D glasses and panoramic paintings, where their goal is to immerse its viewer. And in addition, virtual reality's attempt is to immerse its viewer. However, that's not virtual reality specifically. It's not head tracking, and it's definitely not electronic. Virtual reality in electronics, like real virtual reality, began with the artificial reality computer, which really responded to how you viewed the environment. And that was actually made by a man by the name of Myron Truger. However, that's not called virtual reality. That would be a term that was popularized by the man of Jared Lanier in the year 1987, a bit after 1969, which is when the artificial reality computer existed. Moving on, though, there are some devices that are notable that aren't really VR. Things like the 1950s Sensorama, which had vibrating chairs, fans, and a stereoscopic 3D display, are all cool, but they're not head-tracking surround sound VR devices that we currently know of today. In addition, VR has become a great staple in pop culture. Things like The Matrix, where you're stuck in a digital world, definitely apply to real virtual reality, which is about bringing the user into a whole other world. Moving on to the modern applications, though, virtual reality in the workplace is definitely a possibility. Things like architecture and medicine can definitely be helped through the use of virtual reality. In architecture, you can create blueprints in which you can optimize them to show the construction workers how to best construct the blueprints and ensure safety, and as well as that, it can help increase your own productivity and therefore reduce construction cost. In addition, when it comes to medicine, there isn't much use. However, there is one specific use, and that is for 3D modeling. See, when doctors in training need to learn about about operating, what they can do is they can watch a 3D simulation, and from there they can figure out what can best be done to operate on somebody. Moving on, though, virtual reality definitely has a couple of shortcomings, more specifically in its ergonomic challenges. It's pretty heavy, has motion sickness, you can get headaches, nausea from that, vomiting. They're all really bad. You can also get still nausea, which is like nausea without moving. Those are all really bad, and they really hurt you, which are issues that definitely need to be considered. In addition, this idea of VR dependency, where a worker only knows how to construct things with VR, is definitely something that might be an issue up in the future. In addition, you might get some mental issues from virtual reality. A dysphoria between what's VR and what's the real world might actually become a real issue towards the future as graphics get better and better. Overall, though, I don't believe this is quite the issue. Honestly, I believe, at least for VR dependency and the ergonomic challenges, those are things that can be overcome. VR dependency, you just learn how to do it by yourself first, like how the general education system does with calculators. You learn how to do the problems first, and then you use calculators. And similarly enough, they do that with VR, most likely. Also, with ergonomic challenges, I'm sure that over time, VR can be developed to overcome these issues with ergonomics. Personally, I think its modern applications are great. A virtual reality device in the workplace can most definitely help out. And in architecture and medicine, they will definitely help to boost the industry overall.